Welcome back, everybody, to Fwipp on the BlitzKraft server. So, since some of the bigger projects, such as building a turbine, will require such things as making a second reactor or some other massive steam production, let's go with the simple route and figure out how to get a little bit farther in Ars Magica 2. So, as far as I know, from what I've been explained, I need to get more of these little colored symbols. Now, the red ones and the blue ones are, well, slightly more difficult. You need to find items in dungeons or beat bosses. But for the simple things, such as unlocking area of effect, or some other things like freeze, I need some green. And the green things, I believe, are from killing monsters with spells. So since I don't have a powerful spell, let's make a frost storm kind of spell. So I believe if I've listened to Hannibal well enough, all I need to do is take a spell parchment, throw it in the middle, and flick the switch. That's wrong. I'm already wrong. Um, okay, I don't actually remember how you do this. Well, in case I'm totally off and you guys can laugh at my misfortune, let's grab my other little tool, which is the Arcane Compendium. I made one of these before. Your first spell. How do you do this? You first need to create an Oculus. Yeah, da 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 da. Okay. Place your book on the crafting altar. Throw a blank rune into the middle of the crafting altar to begin the process, then follow the book's prompts. Right. Okay, I may or may not need another blank rune for this. And seeing as how, let's just say, both S.W. Chris and Al Hannibal's spell research, when they didn't have all the components, resulted in their altars exploding horribly. And since this one was actually quite expensive, sunstone is no laughing matter. Let's try. Okay, so first of all, Vintium dust. Oops. Doing that weird little. I suppose it's supposed to be helpful, but where you throw something in and then it'll automatically put the other thing onto your hotbar. Okay, so snowball. A blue rune. Do I have one? Yes, good. Another snowball. It's in really no particular order, I believe, or at least not the order described on the book. You kind of have to just go with the instructions, okay? Another topaz, and then a gas tier, and if I'm lucky, we're done after that, besides a spell parchment. There we go. Spell parchment. Let's go. So what's the point of the lever, then, if I don't need it? So all I have to do now, I believe, is right-click with this, and I can name it and call it something. So obviously this one is Fwippian Frost Storm, and let's hope that's a good enough name. I know it's a projectile frosty stormy thing, so let's go with this picture. Absorbs blending. What? Oh, I see. This is just a random name. Nope. We definitely don't want to go with whatever the heck that was called. Yeah, Fwippian Frost Storm Mark 1. Okay, that's good. And we're going with that. I believe I just go out of the GUI, and there we go. Fwippian Froststar Mark 1. 213 mana. How do I know how much mana I have, personally? Oh, that's a fantastic question. Well, I can give myself mana regen by standing in these, but otherwise, I have no idea. I know by crafting a Magitech staff, I can see how much mana happens to be in one of Al Hannibal's special circles back there, but I don't know about personal stuff. So let's just try shooting a sheep with this and seeing what happens. Instant death. And it immediately causes a storm. Interesting. Perhaps it was a bad idea to include the storm effect, if that's what's going to happen every single time. I can see why that would be a very, very annoying spell. I mean, it'd be okay. I mean, maybe that'll mean that when I want to create a witchery curse, I can just fire this bad boy off. In any case, let's grab that off, and we'll put that on a bookshelf later. I might as well create a shelf of all the spells I've ever made that ended up being successful. So, if I take a look in the Oculus, is it, no, still no green. Um, where on earth is the Ars Magica, progress bar? Because, obviously I need to gain experience levels, and just, firing things at pigs. Oh, there we go. I've almost reached another level, I think. It just disappears extremely fast, so... And I believe man is there on the right. Unless I already can't do it. There's another stat that I haven't heard about yet called Afterburn, which I believe means you can't shoot spells in quick succession unless something, something. For example, healing. Healing probably doesn't have a cooldown. Ars Magic spells, however, do. But there's a lot of leveling I need to do. You'll notice I can't use that whatsoever. Very, very tragic. Let's try and cheat just a little bit. Assuming that spells have a cooldown, and that's the problem, then there should be some other spells here in the ME network that I might be able to have access to. Spell. No, the only one here happens to be this one. Which is apparently lightning and projectile based, I think. No idea if it's able to be... No, I simply can't use either one right now. I can only guess that it has something to do with a cooldown. So, you know what? I'll figure this out. Hopefully it won't be that hard to level up, and I'll meet you later, maybe once I've made some sort of more powerful spell, or at the very least one that stops rain. Alright, everybody, so I've made some headway on spells, sort of. You'll notice, of course, now that that little blue number in the middle of the screen reads 17, not 11, and you're probably thinking, Fwipp, how'd that happen? Well, quite simple. I made this very cheap magic projectile spell, and I've just kind of been flying around shooting things and getting my EXP bar up. Here, I'll show you how that's done. Where's all the squids in this world when you need them to kill? Oh my goodness. Anyway, the point I'm trying to get across is, even though I leveled up quite a bit, that resulted in blue and red skill points, and I am now in extreme need for green skill points. This is all just Ars Magica 2 jargon, but essentially what it means is, you'll see my skill bar down there, going up slightly every time I shoot something. Right? If I can aim correctly, there we go, little there. You can kind of see the experience bar going a little bit here. I've just kind of been running back and forth between the various kinds of nexus we have at our base, because standing in it apparently is able to give you mana regen, which makes this a little bit faster. And I can kind of spam it until I ran out of mana like that, right? Now I can't use any spells. And I was so close right there to getting somewhere. But the point is, even if I leveled up right at that exact moment, it probably wouldn't give me a green skill point, because I think you have to be over level 20 before you start getting green ones. Or something like that, I don't actually know, but it's kind of crucial for me to have that one right now, just based on my Oculus research. So what we're going to do is something a little crazy. In the Arcane Compendium, there is an explanation for this Water Guardian that we can summon. While raining, throw a boat and bucket of water into the circle that Hannibal, of course, left behind. He left behind this redstone one and this iron one here. I assume it worked because it's still here. Now, it has to be raining, right? Well, we've already seen that in Fwipp's spellbook. Fwippian Frost Storm Mark 1 kind of screwed that up. It causes a storm whenever I successfully hit anything with it. In fact, I believe even if I don't hit anything with it, it will soon begin raining. However, that suits our needs just fine, because we're going to summon the Water Guardian. I think. Did I already screw it up? Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, God. Okay, we got our strength 4 on. Whoa, okay. I think that one on the hill is the one that I need to attack. Okay, the Water Guardian is a difficult foe because he splits into 4 or 5 or whatever and then hides. Oh, God. Did I say it was difficult? I just stabbed him to death with a few shots. Well, that's the power of strength 4. Gives me a blue orb. Pretty much instant death. Well, since I've still got strength 4 for another 2 minutes, why don't we take advantage of that, grab some more water buckets, and stab the hell out of this guy. Didn't realize I was still way overpowered. Oh, the second time it didn't give me an orb. Unfortunately, it's not a green one, is it? No, no siree. So, you know, there's really no danger here of me, like, do we have a lot of extra buckets? Yeah. There's really no danger of me dying to this thing. It's hit me twice. I've taken nothing. It's, you know, water buckets don't seem to be a problem. Even though I don't need blue orbs now, I might. There's certain skill tree areas wherein, how do I say this? Like the self spells, like healing and regeneration and that sort of deal. That I can see definitely being handy. Oop, I threw 4 buckets there by mistake. And there we go, another dead one. Maybe it fell in the water last time. It did! Okay, good. Where's all my boats? Did it actually suck up all the boats? It's not like boats are an important resource or anything, but it seems Mr. Fwipp has run out of boats. Still got strength 4 for 50 seconds. I'm not totally sure if I'm strictly owning it based on that. Okay, let's actually get an appropriate number of boats here. There's really no shortage of planks, so there's no excuse for me to accidentally be throwing boats at this monster. There we go. Okay. So let's do this as quickly as possible, because there's probably some more bosses that I can summon that, in fact, will give me... No, that's not right. I want 1 boat at a time here. 1 boat, 1 water bucket, and a few stabs later. Instant death. That's crazy talk. And here I thought leveling was an issue. Well, when you get this strong, I guess I've kind of broken the game. Just slightly. Okay, now that strength 4 is gone, let's see if that was totally what was attributing to my success. No, now it's 3 hits instead of 1. Still, that's insane. This is the weakest, I think, of the bosses from Ars Magica that you can spawn. If you're wondering what I'm using right now, if you haven't been following along, I'm currently using the Tinker's Construct Sword, which does an additional plus 20 attack damage. That is, of course, 10 hearts. This will shred through anyone's natural armor. I thought I had to use the Strength 4 potion to get around their natural resistances, but perhaps that was only the case for the Nature Guardian like we saw last time, which, of course, is a much more formidable foe, if I might say so myself. You'd think the Water Guardian here would learn not to attack Mr. Fwippy Dip, because clearly he's out of his league. There we go. Ow. And now's the point where all this blood poisoning comes into play. Oh, that's a shame. Alrighty, so to give you all my little point of reference here on why I say that these orbs aren't that super cool, take a look at Mr. Fwipp's Oculus. So everything that I need to move forward on the offensive tree, ignition, blind, area of effect, freeze, knockback, even the stuff that I don't want is green, okay? Everything on the self tree is pretty much blue, kind of. Utility spells is pretty much all blue still. And of course, more importantly, mana regen, I need green and then red. So it's kind of annoying. But that's okay. Because now we've got these. 1, 2, 3. Let's have a look here. What can we do with that? Well, now we can unlock the ability to change the colors of our particles. Kind of useless. Affinity gains boost. What would that do? Let's go back here and see if we can see that. Talents. Affinity gains boost. That would do. You've decided that elemental attunement is more important than arcane knowledge. Receive a boost to affinity gains in exchange for slower magic XP gain. This is a permanent effect. That sounds absolutely terrible. Even though I'm not about the magic XP and I'm kind of about bosses right now, I can't see why making that dominant would actually be better. Personally. Alright, so I have the ability here. Wizard's Autumn, which would knock out leaves. Useless. I want to get True Sight, so for that I need Light. You can also get Binding. Don't know what you do. Night Vision. And True Sight. There we go. That also unlocks the ability for Invisibility or Lunar. Because I had a red skill point all along. Now I have random teleport. Okay, let's get invisibility. And then let's get that last, well, not last one, but random teleport, because that's a nice ability. I'd still need green for the teleport ability, blue for the switch place ability, range to make my spells longer, I think, recall and mark for teleportation wherever I want. Unknown what those do, I forget. And contingency death. I have no idea what that is, but that sounds fabulous. Alright, how about I meet you back in a minute after I've stopped this horrible rainstorm. And once I perhaps fight a boss that might drop the green orb, which I am in such dire need for. Not Direwolf 20, just dire need. You get the idea. Alrighty, the next phase, of course, requires some air essence, which I can acquire by putting some feathers and tarma roots together in this device, otherwise known as the essence refiner, and then you just kind of let it do its thing. So that's what we'll do. We're going to let it do its thing. In the meantime, I have some things to dump into the ME network because I just built myself an arena. You're probably thinking, you're getting ahead of yourself, Fwipp, and that might be true. Because here's what we needed to do. To summon the Air Guardian, climb above the clouds and build a platform 150 or higher. Build a gold inlay ring on the platform and throw in an air essence. That's it to fight this guy. Of course, he is a being of wind, knockback-based attacks. Yeah. Apparently a very powerful boss. So, we've built ourselves an arena way up above the giant blood skull that has, in fact, yet to be used. Let's grab ourselves, let's see, our wand, switch that to secondary storage, and quickly pull out another potion of strength 4 just in case. I don't know what we're going to need to do to fight this guy, but I've got our nice arena set up here, made out of concrete and maze stone. Alright, we'll grab our best sword in the game. Let's grab one single air essence and toss her in and see what happens. Ooh, boy, talk about knockback. He's already launched me on top of the gate. Well, this is an issue. Oh, God. Yeah, okay, if he can throw you that high. Potion of Strength, go. We're taking him out. I know that the Ars Magica bosses are usually designed to be fought, for example, with spells. Not exactly the flying variety. There we go. And he drops, of course, a green orb, exactly what we need. So let's just kill a whole bunch of his friends here in our magical arena. He actually sucks you in, makes you fly, some other weird stuff. Alright, but I'm not going to be putting up with any of that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Juggles you around like a fiend. Like he's already dead, and he's still dropping air essence so that I can keep summoning him again and again. That's really interesting. Ugh, the problem, of course, is staying on the ground. As you might well imagine, fighting an air elemental, Fwipp should have seen that coming. But I didn't think he'd have, I believe these are like homing attacks. And if I'm not mistaken, since he drops the thing that's required to summon him, uh, unlike, well, the water elemental, for example, this may mean that I can just fight this guy basically infinity times and keep getting these green orbs. So this is a crazy grinding tactic, I think. Oh, no, I can't even get to him. There we go. That guy dropped 2 air essences this time. Okay. Now, his attacks all seem to be homing and sucking, so even though he's not even dealing any damage right now, it's really annoying to try and figure out where he is and pinpoint a way to kill him. Look, he's dead, and his attacks are still coming in. I don't know of any other mob that's able to do that. And you'll also notice that although I don't have my experience grinding sword on, he's really not giving me a lot of EXP as a drop. So this guy, I think, is mainly meant to be farmed for those green experience orbs, although it doesn't say that anywhere. Ars Magica is the kind of... Okay, it's the kind of mob where... mod, sorry, where there aren't exactly a lot of explanations. There's some things, and then a lot is just left up to you. But I think this is a pretty good method for getting these green orbs. He's actually making me fly right now. That wasn't of my own volition at all. But since he actually generates these orbs, man, we can just fight this guy forever. This is great. I thought, you know, because I had to kill him 8, 10 times for what I want to do in Ars Magica, that would actually be an issue. But this is basically just self-grinding, like just over and over again. This sounds a bit weird. But, yeah, hey, Mr. Air Elemental, yeah, don't change a thing. We're already up to 9? Man, if I knew how easy this would be, maybe I would have built a really cool arena in the sky earlier. Me and Hannibal tried to fight this guy without building an arena, and let's just say he tends to hover and fly, and we were never able to find him again. If you're wondering, the concrete blocks I'm using kind of functions a bit like soul sand, where it'll drop you downwards. Slightly. So no matter what, this guy cannot just walk right through that gate. That's purely for looks, and I hope that that's aesthetically pleasing to you as well. Just another one of those tiny designs, we'll say, because, again, some of the other members of the BlitzKraft server, this one here, have expressed a desire to build some sort of PvP arena, since we've never really fought each other in some sort of, like, oh my god, it's like he spawns that, and then it'll just attack you on its own. Oh, what is that? That is an interesting block. I'm still getting the strength buffs from underneath. Fly through the air with the greatest of ease. Wait, what the hell? How did that guy take out my legs? Oh my. I never took those off, so, this isn't armor, by the way, no. Maybe the air elemental is actually able to knock your gear off of you while you're fighting him. Let's try that one more time. I'm definitely wearing all my gear. I could be wrong. But let's just double check that real quick. Is he able to, like, take off your pants and boots? That's kind of creepy and weird. I don't like it. But, yeah, let's have a look at what that kind of an attack would be all about. Unless I'm lucky and I'm, you know, gonna avoid that entirely. It did mention somewhere that unless you had a good way of preventing fall damage outside of feather falling, I wonder if that's what it meant, that the Air Guardian will actually take your clothes and, you know, put them in your inventory, which is good, because if it was able to destroy my ichor cloth robes, I would be very seriously sad. Yeah, look at that. There's my boots taken off right there. Okay, so if I wasn't wearing anything right now, what does this block do? The air sled. Oh god. Oh god, what the heck? You can ride around on it like it's a thing. You can kind of jump. Not really. I better get off, but I don't trust the air sled. Can I pick it up with the golden lasso? No, I can't. Yes, I can, but that drops it as a block. Thank goodness. Okay, because I don't know about you, but I don't really like the idea of flying around forever on something like that. Oh god, wait, I don't have any of my gear on. Haha! Almost touche there, Mr. Air Elemental. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Guardian, I should say. Yes, I did the stupid thing, and I left all my gear off. So that was your chance to shine, as it were. Good job. I would have had some serious trouble getting back to the top of the skull without my gear on. But unfortunately, that's another little death for you. Took off my pants again. Jeez. Man, that is an interesting little bit of an effect, isn't it? But I can just summon these guys basically infinity times. Ah, man. I'm getting a little bit repetitive here. Why don't we kill this guy one more time, then we'll examine in our Arcane Compendium how very well these green orbs might best be used. Maybe I'll look up how to use the air sled later. But obviously, since I can fly, they might be good in a weird kind of PvP kind of way. Who knows? Maybe farming for these isn't so bad. Alright, so let's use like 5 of them first of all. Ah, there's the whole tree lit up green just like I like to see. Alright, so for starters, I'm going to need a red one too because I definitely want mana regen 2. Spell motion. Why not? Mage Posse. Actually, what does that do? Since some of these, like that other one there, was kind of a negative effect, I definitely don't want to just go into it. So let's go to talents. What does Mage Posse mean? Your talents as a mage have impressed others, and your reputation precedes you. You can request a light mage follow and guard you. This counts against your summon cap. Well, since they actually end up dying quite often, and these green orbs are now ridiculously easy for me to get. Whoa there, game. Let's actually go for it. Why not? Sounds good. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like I can get a dark mage, as awesome as that would be. So we can go with Blink. That's a good one. Let's go with the ones I really wanted to do. For example, Area of Effect. Astral Distortion now. Knockback now. Water Gram now. Freeze. Freeze was a good one. I think we're going to need a few more. That's okay. I have 9. Any extras I can just give to Hannibal or use later once I need them. Ignition. Yes. Contingency Fire. Don't know what that is. We're going to take it. Forge. Why not? I think we're just going to go with most of these, actually. Why not? Blind is important for later. Why not? So Distortion, Knockback, and maybe once more for... Ooh, now we've got Fling. That's interesting. Another one there. The more you go, the more you unlock in the skill tree. Let's go with Watery Grave, because why not? And last one, is there anything else for green skill points right now? Because the farther you go, you'll still need, for example, like right there, I need a red one, and after the red one, still more red there. Looking very good. Defense is mostly blue. Utility. Yeah, that's pretty good for now. I think we've proven my point that maybe when it comes to Ars Magica, if you can get a really good way to just get some infinity orbs, you can really break the skill tree. And I think that was a very good start on making my point that the EXP system is way too low. And when you've gotten this far in the game, maybe I should have been looking into this earlier. Thanks so much, Hannibal, for all the help and such. Please feel free to do my method. Quote me. I'm Fwipp. Sitting here in the rain, saying see you next time. Thanks for watching.